It's February 21st, 2015, and I am having problems with the United States Department of Education. So here's my computer, and I was just at, it's on my Twitter account, so I'm going to go out of that. But just got a message that I have to repay my loans, which is inaccurate. And this is the message I'm getting from Navient, which is from the United States government. Department of Education, Loan Services. So they're saying that the information I entered doesn't match an existing account, and please verify you've entered all the information correctly. Select Forgot User ID if you request assistance. Well, I just signed up for an account just now because they sent me these messages saying I have to repay my loans when I don't, when I haven't withdrawn from any college. And it took me 20 different tries to get this website to accept the password and username that I was using, because they kept saying it didn't match and a whole bunch of things were coming up when I was typing in the correct information. So then I tried to log in and it said that my password was incorrect. Well, it wasn't incorrect, and I tried it again and it wouldn't go through. So then I was required then to submit a I forgot my password request to change my password. And when I did that, I entered my user ID, which I had signed up with my email address for simplicity. And when I tried to get my password, the site then told me that it doesn't recognize my password, which is for my email account. So now what I suspect is going to happen, and right now I'm looking for my cord to go to my computer because I have to plug it in. I'm going to set this down for a minute while I'm talking because I have to grab that. So anyway, then, so now it's saying my username isn't recognized when I signed up with my email address, and then it said you can use an email address, and then it asked for my email address at the end of the submission of information form, and I used the same email address that I used for my username, and, which is the one that was just displayed. So now what I suspect they're going to do is I'm going to try to use this username, or have to change it, and then they're going to say, sorry, you can't use that email address because there's already an account associated with that email address. So now the United States Department of Education is going to attempt to force me to get a new email account. And I don't want to use a different email account because this is the account that I get all of my information at. So they basically just screw with me one way or the other, and that's what's happening right now. So I'm going to show you that that's probably what's going to happen next. And since they are not accepting anything that I type in, I'm going to document what I'm typing. This is 1 and 0 because, basically they want me to sound like I'm nuts, like I don't remember what I'm typing in because the United States claims that I'm having mental problems. Well, I'm not having mental problems, but they like to make it look like I am, and as if I don't even know what I'm typing into the computer. So I just typed in my birth date and the last 4 digits of my Social Security. I really hate this fucked up government. And as I said, this is the email user account that I used. So now I'm clicking on submit. And now it's saying the information you entered does not match an existing account. And I already set up this existing account. Please verify the information. Select Forgot User ID if you require assistance. Okay, so now I'm having to select, I forgot my user ID. So supposedly I forgot my password. And I forgot my user ID. You know, because I'm nuts. According to this fucked up government that kidnaps kids. So, it's asking for this information again. I'm going to put it down because everybody already has my social security number. 534. And oops, put it down something else. I'm going to skip one thing, actually, because they're not going to challenge me probably on my social security number. But my social security number is all over the place because of this government. And I am putting my date of birth down again. And clicking that. And now it says your user ID has been sent to your email address on the record. And it says that I will be prompted to create a new one. So is this a valid email address for you? And I am clicking yes. So now I'm going to go to my account, my email account, and it's saying customer service, user ID reminder. This is from okay. Oh, this is really interesting. Now it's saying automated message. Do not reply. Your user ID has been processed. Our records indicate that your user ID is Dixie Dale. And I did not type in the name Dixie Dale when I signed up for this account that I just now signed up for. If you require further assistance, you may call such and such. Okay, so that's completely bizarre because that's not what I just signed up for with my account. Okay, so now I'm going back to this government site to type in the user ID of Dixie Dale. And see, you can see what the prompt is here underneath it, the automatic prompt, because what I was using for the user ID that I just signed up for is this email. See, gmail.com, that's what I use. That's why the prompt is coming up underneath it. But the Department of Education is making the crazy claim that I typed in Dixie Dale. So I'm going to type in, oops, Dixie Dale, and then my password, and they just might claim that I don't know my password, but I'm going to try it without revealing what it is to you, individuals who might be watching this video when I put it up. And log in. Okay. The following errors occurred on the page. Oh, what a surprise. The user ID and password combinations is incorrect. Please try again. Remember, your password is case sensitive. Yes, because I don't know whether I've capitalized something or whether I haven't capitalized anything. Okay, so this is the crap I'm dealing with the United States government. So now they're telling me that I had a different username, which I did not have. And now I'm going to have to say I forgot my password because my ID and password are incorrect. Alright, so now I'm having to go to user ID to type in the user ID they decided to give me. with my date of birth. And last 4 of my social. Okay, and then submitting that. Now it's going to be going to that same email account. So now I have to pick up a temporary password. So I'm going back to my mailbox. Here's another message from these guys. Customer service. Your account information. And your temporary password is, now I'm going to write that down. Okay. Oh yeah, and please call this 800 number if you suspect any, if you see any suspicious activity. Right. Okay, so now I'm going back to the login. So it says log in using your temporary password. Get to use, oh look, looky here, now that we have this automatic one for this, because now that I'm using the one the government wants me to use, it's working. I mean, do I even have to keep recording this, because this is already sort of proving my point. Okay, now here's my temporary password. Make sure I'm doing it right. 2. And a capital. So I'm going to hit this. Capital X. And then I have to put down a 5. Now, this would be a lot faster if I wasn't having to move this little handheld bloggy thing around. And then I'm going to have to do a shift and go up here to get their little $sign. And another shift and a T. And another shift and an I. And a shift and an E. And a shift and a B. And then we're going to go with the lowercase t and y. Okay, so as you can see, I entered that in. Well, let's just count how many dots there are there, because that looks like more than I just entered in. But the password that they gave me, the temporary one, has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 little dots. And this looks like a little more than 10. Wow. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, like 18 or so? Oh my goodness. Wow, we gotta try that again. Okay. Now let's go over here like this and see how many little dots come up when I enter in the same temporary password. You know, I need a tripod because trying to hold this with one hand and typing with the other is not very easy. Okay, so here's their little password again they gave me. 2 and an X, 5, $, T, and I, and E, B, and then T and Y. Oh, now it looks like the right number of dots. Guess I'm lucky this time. Now let's try to log in. Look, it's not right. The user ID and password combination you entered is incorrect. Please try again. Remember, your password is case sensitive. Did I goof up again? Oh my goodness. Okay, let's try their little username again. There we go. Okay, everybody. Let's make sure I do this right. Because, you know, this is the kind of crap that I was having to deal with at the Post Pub when I worked in Washington, D.C., and they were trying to make me look nuts, too, and trying to fire me over things that I wasn't doing incorrectly. And they were just lying. So, really don't like trying to hold this with one hand and then doing this. So I'm going to, again, enter their little password that they gave me, 2. And we have 1 dot there. Here's the X. Okay, let's try caps lock, okay, so people know that I really did press shift down correctly. There's a caps lock. Okay, now let's try the caps lock off. Caps lock on. See a little notice over here? Caps lock is on. Okay. We have to be really careful because we're dealing with the United States Department of Education, you know? Alright. So here is my capital X. Okay, now we have to take the caps lock off. So here we go. Watch, caps lock is going to go off. There you go. See it? Okay. And here's a 5. Okay, now we're going to do a little caps lock again. There. And here's our little $sign. We have to take the caps lock off. Actually, I'm going to leave the caps lock on again because the next one is a capital T. And then I have a capital I and a capital E and a capital B. And then they had lowercase t, y. So we're going to take the caps lock off. And we're going to add a lowercase t and a lowercase y. Okay. Let's see if the user ID that they gave me and the password that they gave me are going to match. Log in. What do we have here? Okay. The following errors occurred. The combination is incorrect. Oh, really? I don't believe it. Okay. Well, I think I just proved my point, basically. Oh yeah, and here's their other message. The site uses JavaScript and cookies. Make sure these features are enabled in your browser before proceeding so everything will run properly. Well, everything is enabled. And all of the other sites that require passwords and IDs, that kind of thing, they're all working. So right now, I am dealing with these people. And actually, this group here, the Department of Education group, screwed up my loan services because when I tried to consolidate my loans, they screwed everything up so that the consolidation cost me more money and looked like I had to pay more than I did. And this same education group is connected to CPS over in Washington, D.C. They have the lawyers for the Department of CPS working in the same building as the Department of Education people, which is kind of interesting. Okay, so now I have 19 minutes on this. I'm going to have to probably ask YouTube for extra time on my video when I upload it to prove that this is the kind of crap I have to deal with on an ongoing basis. And this is what I was dealing with as a teenager too, when the United States was trying to obstruct me from getting any work done. So first I'm going to document this, and then I'm going to have to call these buggers